Hello and welcome. Today I'll be showing one of the games that I've played with Ed Trice, and I'm quite proud of this game because it was a game where I had an initiative for a lot of time. So as you can see, this is a 10 by 8 board, and this is called Gothic chess. It's different from Capablanca chess as there is two extra pieces. Here we have the knight and the rook, and we have the knight and the bishop combination, which is a chancellor and an elephant. Both are very strong pieces. So this is a game which I played with the inventor of the variant itself, Ed Trice. So you can check out him. He's like playing this variant for last 20 years, and he knows Capablanca chess for last 30 years. So he really knows the 10 by 8 board quite well. So I'm playing this on a server called PyChess, which is made from the Lichess code, the Lichess Scala code, and it has been tweaked, and it supports various square boards and so on. And there is a fairy stockfish which is analyzing this variants, which has some kind of new kinds of pieces, like this fairy pieces we call them, which are the new pieces. So this is a game. Let's go. I'm trying to learn some openings of Gothic, and Capablanca chess is very similar to Gothic, but in Capablanca chess, these two pieces are a bit separated out, which makes very obvious weaknesses, which are easy to target. So Capablanca chess, you can just imagine as one bad variant of chess 960, and like if the original chess configuration was some weird 960 variant, people would not have like just have the enthusiasm to develop theory. And also, like, Capablanca chess is always winning for white. Like, there is a lot, black has to, like, there's an infinite struggle for black to equalize. So that's why Capablanca chess is very hard, and like it's not an fair kind of a what you can call battlefield or some sort. So Gothic chess is a little bit more squarer. Black also has a lot of chances. So I'll play a game. I'll show two games. First game where I played a very standard and solid opening here. This opening was really good. It was suggested by Ed Trice himself. That's why I was able to develop a lot of pieces and just like weather the storm. So I started out with d4, knight h6, knight h3, c6, e3, d5. So I really don't know the theory, but my main aim right now is to just fianchetto, no, not fianchetto, is to just get this bishop out and this chancellor out and this castle. Some kind of Slavish structure on the black queen side. I play bishop e2, he plays bishop f5, bringing out the bishop. Now computer recommends e3 here, f3 here, but instead I played chancellor to f3, which is a little bit, it gives a little bit of target. So he just immediately poked my chancellor. Here I was considering chancellor to f4, and the engine also suggested, but I think so it is very risky, because like there can be some kind of g5, e5. I really don't know, but black can get a lot of pawn storm with tempo, so that's why I just drop it back. He takes on g2. I take it with my this elephant. He plays g6, and then I play c3, and he plays bishop g7. I play queen b3, and I target this area. Now here I was thinking, if he plays the elephant here, then he guards the square as well as protects the rook, but he had some other plans. He was targeting my king, so he thought that if I take 2 pawns, he'll get some kind of initiative. So I think so here is where he kind of, as black should have just responded here, and things would have been easy. So instead he just brought a chancellor to f6. I took a pawn, and now here he should have played the elephant here, and then I would have retreated back to b3, and I just would have been a pawn up. But he played knight d7, because of which I could take another pawn on c6. Here he could have tried knight b6. It would have been really good. So yeah, knight b6, and then I would have like um, I really don't know like what the continuation. Queen b5 maybe. I would have tried that, but otherwise I just got 2 pawns, and he should have tried this, and because of which I would have had to go back, so which I didn't do. So let's go forward. I got 2 pawns, he castled, and now chancellor to e3 is recommended, and then I think so some kind of break in the center like this maybe might work, but instead after castles I also castled, and he played this rook knight to c7, and here I played queen to a4, and he should have done the break here which I was talking about, e5 break, but instead he played the chancellor to h5, bringing the chancellor very close to the king, and here I thought for a long time, and I really didn't know what to do. I was thinking two options, whether to go f4 or f3. I was also thinking of bringing the chancellor here to trade off, but I knew that it wouldn't have been traded off, and there would have been some kind of weird maneuver like chancellor going back here, and somehow my chancellor being attacked after a few moves. So I really don't know what would have happened, but anyways I went with a safe option of going f3, which is good. Knight b6 here. Okay, queen b1, because I do not want to have queen c2, because there can be this like bishop takes d4, and this piece is like pinning the queen, so that's why queen d1. Now knight c4 immediately was the idea, and he played it. Here I should have played I played the computer move, which is take it here. The other option was to bring it here or to bring it here, both of which I didn't do. I just played the computer move, and I brought it here. Now here f5 would have been good for him to prevent my g4, but instead he played this rook b7 targeting this pawn, so I advanced it. He went knight b6, and I went g4, and now he brought the chancellor here. Better idea would have been chancellor to here, and then I suppose if I play bishop f4, then he could have brought the chancellor to I4, which is right here, and the position would have been weird. There would have been some tactical shots. So like example, if I would have poked it, then he would have gone to j5 again, and so on and so forth. I think so more activity would have been generated in such a way, and but he played here, and here I had I was thinking of poking, but I thought it would ruin my pawn structure. So the main idea was I didn't want this and this combination, both piece combination. So I just took my inactive bishop and traded off with the knight on h6. He took with the chancellor. Taking with the bishop is also good, but yeah, okay, chancellor. Now I played, I thought for a while. I was thinking right now whether to play d4 and d5 and try and break open the center, but I knew that this would come immediately piece, and there would be maybe like immediate response, some kind of response black would have had. So that's why I just went with the safe option, just trying to poke the chancellor. Chancellor came to j5, and I traded off here because I thought that queen d7 or some kind of queen move, and like there were some tactics. I don't know exactly which, but I thought it would have been a bit dangerous. So I took with the pawn, and now rook c8. He played. I played f4, and now he played a good move, which is taking it to d6. Now here I should have played e3, but instead I played chancellor to f4 because I wanted to guard up both the squares, which I did. But okay, but I didn't see the next move that he had, the idea that he had, which was to bring the elephant here. And here I was thinking of queen d2 a lot, but then I thought there is something else, and like I really didn't know that this maneuver existed and it would be so strong. So this is if you just pause a video here and just see what black exactly will do in a few moves. And I made a plan, but my plan was very slow. I'll just show what my plan was. My plan was to play I4. So I4 completely gives the initiative away, and he just brought the elephant to E3. Now the queen d2 is late. I was thinking of queen f1, but I thought, okay, I'll just give up this rook, but I just want some kind of attack here. I don't know what, g5, or just I don't know, some knight sack on h7. I really don't know, but I thought I would get some kind of attack. I didn't wanted to preserve this rook. He tried to take the rook, and here I blundered. Okay, here what I should have done was the computer is recommending queen c1, which I don't know why. I think so. Yeah, the queen is a bit misplaced. But anyways, I blundered this knight, and now the game is lost for me. So I held my fort up to move 27. I played g5, which is a loss of tempo, and now it's losing. What I should have played was again queen c1. This is a hard move to see because I hesitated playing queen d2 few moves back when the elephant was coming from here to here. So that means that I didn't want any friction between these two pieces. So that's why I avoided and continued with my plan. Here I played rook e1, and he took the chancellor, which I felt sad about. He took a pawn here. Better would have been maybe take the pawn on d4, but okay. I played e3. He played chancellor back here. I just pushed a pawn for a few moves, and this is something that I had calculated out somehow, kind of trying to make a defense, although it's a lost position. And I just poked the queen a bit. Now here I played a queen e4, which is a bit imprecise. Queen g3 would have been better. So queen e4, then knight c4 came. Yeah, and now queen g3 again I should have played, but now it was a desperado mode, and I made this move, after which I forked my queen too. So that was sad. I couldn't see on a 10/8 board. I can't see forks that easily. I was under time pressure too. So the game ended, but anyways, there is some kind of defense that I'm having because of these two pawns. Yeah. Now, since my rook is guarding this, there is no immediate mate. Can you spot the mate in 1 if you can spot it? So the I have to play rook. Yeah, there is a mate in 2 or mate in 1. I just tried to protect this, and I just overlooked that this was a mate. So yeah, so the key highlight, the key position that I missed out on in this game was the maneuver of the elephant. And in this kind of pawn structures, the elephant just like it went here, then it went here, then it went here, it went here, and it went many more places. It went here again, and then afterwards it came here and tried to check me here. So this kind of elephant maneuver right in the center of the board is something that I missed. It was a tactical shot. So anyways, this was a good game. Now the second game I played was with a different opening. I played another standard opening that is played, which is h4, and he replied with knight f6. I played d3, which is a strange move. This is like my second game ever that I've played. Knight c6, c3, e6. I'm already given up my advantage. So this is a bad opening from my part, but again, I didn't know any opening theory when I played this game. Bishop g7. He's comfortably castling, and I'm doing no progress actually with my pawn structure of my pieces. So clearly I'm behind. Now here I tried something which is like trying to get the knight to f3, and which the idea which he allowed. So I got it here. He played d5, and now I played the bishop to g5 and trying to exchange the bishop for the chancellor because it's a little bit more pricey because of its more freedom of movement. He played to g4, then I played this knight g5 thing. He played chancellor here, and now I again tried to repeat the move, but he played knight g4, knight i4, sorry. And then I retreated the bishop back to f4. So there's like weird piece play happening in the middle of the board. I tried to just push this chancellor out, and I thought that the queens would be exchanged, but instead he retreated out here. So I decided to just poke once more and then sacrifice my queen on d6, and this is really bad. After this, black gets a lot of initiative, and it's the same maneuver. In the last game that I showed, the maneuver was from elephant going from here, and then it went here and here and here and here. But now it is because of I captured on here, the elephant comes out here, and here computer is suggesting bishop d2, but I played h3, just poke and see, just completely change the pawn structure with these two captures. Okay, and after this he played this move which is forking both my knights, and I played a good move which is take here, and then now he played g6. I really don't know why. Okay, he should have like few moves back. He should have played rook f8 or something, or maybe just taken this knight. I don't know what. Maybe it's good. It leaves a lot of holes in my camp, but unfortunately he didn't do it, and he played g6, which allows me some breathing time, and I bring the knight out. Now he does a good move, which is the elephant drop here, check. I move the king. He takes the elephant here. Better move would have been again to involve the rook and target this square, which he does, but after a move. He does it, and he takes this, and now I have to give up the chancellor because I don't want a mate right here. The knight is tied up, and there are some kind of sacrificial mating ideas that can be played. So I just take it, and king h4. Now king rook b8. Now I try some weird ideas of trying to just tickle this queen by trying trying here, and just trying to get a mate. Just get a check. Actually, I really didn't have a good plan here. So queen to g5, rook g1. Now I really don't understand this move. I think I would just wanted to prolong the game, maybe. Bishop e6, rook d3, and now here just pause the video and think of the winning move, because taking here and taking here will just lose out the initiative. There's a better move, and like there's two moves to consider. This h6, maybe this move also, or there is some better move. I really don't know, like maybe just bringing this rook again here or something, the other rook. So he played this good move, which is h6. I took. He again gave a check. I brought it back. He took the knight. I took the queen. He brought the queen here, and now here I just went on a king march, and this is a mate in one. So it was a good game. I really enjoyed my king march here. And this elephant's route, which was started from here and it went all the way, I really don't exactly know. It started from here and it went here and here, yeah, and delivered a mate like this. So again the elephant on the center and delivering the key squares. Both these games are dominated by this fairy piece. The other chancellor piece couldn't be very active. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope both these games were good and instructive. I'll be making some gothic chess openings videos in the future, since there isn't uh, that much novice theory, like beginners theory, I would say, because very less people play this variant. So yeah, thank you for watching.